Bam Weekly. That's Boris and Matt Weekly, the show where we chat about some sports, the show where we chat about some entertainment, and then we round it all off and chat some sports entertainment, otherwise known as wrestling. We're your hosts. I'm Boris, and as always, I am joined by Matt.
Bonjour. How's everybody doing out there? We hope you're doing well. It's the Summer of Rasslin in Canada, Boris. It's officially kicking off tomorrow with AEW Collision in Toronto. We have the NBA draft to discuss. Lots of video game news and some entertainment things as well. Full slate today. But how you doing, big homie?
I am doing fantastic. Busy week. I was supposed to be off this week. That didn't really happen. I got moments off. But it was just a very busy week at work, which is whatever. I'm taking next week off too, so let's do that. Otherwise, doing really good. Busy with family, man. Actually, and friends. This weekend is insane, to say the least. My sister's birthday. Happy birthday, however old you're turning. Kevin O'Leary, the real Kevin O'Leary's wedding game is happening in a few hours here in Toronto.
Oh, very good. Who are they playing?
I think the A's. I don't even know. That's how much the Jays are pissing me off this year.
Oof, I'll go quickly look that up.
I'm pretty sure it's the A's. 99% sure it's the A's.
Yes, you are seeing Toronto versus the Oakland Athletics at 7:07 p.m. Eastern. Is what that is your evening, Boris.
So who do you think, or it's not, sorry, I should say, what time do you think I'm going to leave? 9:30, 9:15. It is the A's. Who's pitching?
Bassett versus Caprellian? Who is James Caprellian?
Sounds like an alien race from Star Trek. The Caprellians.
Yes, live long and prosper.
Hey, you got that. Very well done.
Yeah.
So and then obviously all the wrestling that's going on this week, and with Collision happening here in Toronto tomorrow, Forbidden Door the next day, the Forbidden Pour with Post Wrestling and our friends at Poison Rana. Like, it is just a busy weekend here in the city, and if you're a wrestling fan, man, so much on the go over the next 2 weeks, because next weekend we got the Impact Down Under tour. Impact's in Australia for not one but two shows. Money in the Bank in London. Man, what a crazy start to the summer.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Also, Pride Weekend. Happy Pride Weekend to those who celebrate. And if you're an angry homophobe, go fuck yourself. Lots going on in the city this weekend, big homie. I'm quite excited. Yeah, dude, it's Collision. I'm going to go. I got my first ever media pass, and I'm going to go check that out, see what that's like. It might be my first and last, because I love being a wrestling fan. Even in covering wrestling, I kind of want to keep the fans' perspective, kind of like Bill Simmons or whatever. Although Bill Simmons will get a media pass or two. Like, I'm not opposed to it. Definitely going to check it out, see how it goes. But yeah, I'm hoping to attend for Forbidden Door as a fan in the audience. And man, it's just such a cool weekend for wrestling. So many dream matches on the slate. But yeah, dreams are coming true all over the place, buddy. We got the NBA draft in the rear view window, and we can talk about that a little bit.
Let's talk about that, and let's start off with talking about Toronto's big dick energy.
Gradey Dick rocking a shiny ruby suit, looking like he actually mentioned that it was about like coming from Kansas and being Dorothy. So Gradey Dick rocking the red on the Toronto Raptors, one of, if not the best shooters in the draft, which the Raptors desperately needed someone who can shoot the basketball. His pro comp is Klay Thompson, in that he doesn't need to dribble or do anything but just catch the ball and shoot. He's got great IQ. He's not as good a defender as Klay. Klay's actually like a really good defender, or was in his prime, but he could be like, his IQ is so good that hopefully he can develop his skill set. He's not the best athlete, but he is a white boy shooter, a Jason Capono type, Boris, if you nasty.
Or Larry Bird, like if we're really digging deep.
No, not there so much, Larry Bird. But man, so I pumped. Big dick energy. Gradey Dick is the name of somebody who wants pictures of Spider-Man. Gradey Dick is the name, Boris, of somebody who tried to jump over a bunch of buses with his moped and failed. That's Gradey Dick.
Yep, 100%. So let's talk about the draft a little bit, but after that, I want to, and I know, and I try to avoid this a lot, But we got to talk about the Raptors a little bit because if there's a team that interests me, just in general in the NBA right now, it's the Toronto Raptors. We can also talk about the Lakers and the Clippers. I want to talk about those three teams in general because I feel like those three teams are going to be very different at the beginning of the year as they will be at the end of the year. But before that, let's talk about the draft.
Okay, yeah, quick points, fly through like the top
Yeah.
five and some other things. So yeah, Victor Wembanyama, indisputable number one prospect. His ceiling is literally the greatest player of all time. He's a 7'5" man who plays like LeBron James, who's got like great instincts, a great personality. He seems like the world is his oyster, man, and the only thing that could possibly slow him down is injury. So like one of the great
And
prospects of all time, perhaps.
one downside that a lot of people love to bring up, but let's talk about that real quickly about him, and that's his size, right? How skinny, how small he is. But let's remember this, Matt. How old is this kid?
Well, he's what, like all of 18, 19?
That's my whole point. He is still a child. He doesn't even have his adult body yet. He will get bigger and buffer, and he's gonna size himself out. But at the same time, if he's got the speed, if he's got the talent, who gives a fuck?
Man, and like he's gonna have the best doctors, the best advances in health. Like it's a little
Like,
different from Ralph Sampson coming into the league back in
yeah,
the day in the early 80s, you know what I mean? Who is
and
he's a prospect who is yeah, Ralph Sampson has been compared to him a lot because he had like unlimited potential and he was perfect for that game of his era. Although he wanted to be more of a Victor Wembanyama and play on the perimeter more. Anyway, he ended up getting injured a
like,
lot and it didn't quite work out for Ralph Sampson.
do people remember how small Chris Bosh was when he started?
Well, man, all yeah, like exactly, like just
Pascal
rail
Siakam,
thin,
like,
a beanpole, man. Kevin Durant,
yeah.
beanpole, just an absolute beanstalk, and they figured it out. So yeah, I think Wembanyama is going to be all right. I think the Spurs are probably not going to contend for the playoffs right away, but Wemby is going to be sick right away. Must watch TV.
Look, like everything, right? It comes down to injuries and how well he can condition himself and how good the doctors down in Texas are. And I think that this kid is going to have a much better, much successful career than someone like a Zion.
We're gonna see. I think it seems like he's more motivated. Seems like he's more ready for the spotlight. But who knows? That's just me.
Oh, I
You
know.
know,
This is all,
from afar. That's just what it seems like.
yeah, exactly. And we're idiots. What the fuck do we know? You can take
Yeah,
half of what we
exactly.
say and put it on the Freezing Cold Takes Facebook, Instagram page, right? Like,
Exactly. Brandon Miller from Alabama to Charlotte. So he's the guy who was kind of involved in that murder scandal. I'm actually kind of surprised that Charlotte picked him
I am too.
at 2 instead of Scoot Henderson, who went to Portland at 3. Now Scoot Henderson's like a combo guard. Like he's just sick though. He's great defensively, great offensively. He's the kind of guy who can kind of take over an organization. So I wonder what's going to happen with old Damian Lillard here. He actually might get traded. But if Dame wants to stay there for a couple years and teach Scoot the ways, that could actually be pretty sick. Scoot could be a little bit of a wild card here in Portland, and they could actually do some damage next year if they do keep Lillard.
Yep, that's exactly. I think they should try to keep him for that very reason, right? I think that it's so important for a rookie, especially a rookie straight out of school, to have that vet, and who better than Lillard?
Yeah, absolutely, man. But I do worry that he is going to get traded.
He
But
probably
now
will,
we're gonna
but
probably will.
probably will.
Um,
But
probably will. So yeah, the Thompson twins get drafted 4th and 5th. Let's shout them out. Houston grabs Amen Thompson, who is more of a point guard, and the Pistons grabbed Osar Thompson, who is, I guess, more of a forward at this point. But yeah, two incredible athletes, and it's pretty cool to see twins go in the top 5 of the NBA draft. That's sick. Also, Derek Lively the second. From Duke, he's going to the Dallas Mavericks to play with Luka Doncic, and his pro comp is DeAndre Jordan. He's already ready to step in on the defensive end and swat shots like a baby Wembenyama. So we don't know how his offense is going to be. But as Jay Billis pointed out during the draft coverage, you know what? The thing about DeAndre Jordan is he's still in the fucking league, Boris, and he's still helping out. He's still a quite valuable player. Well, quite valuable is a stretch.
Valuable.
He's still an NBA valuable, an NBA notable. So yeah, if the Mavericks just got a guy who can have a 20-year career and help out defensively, that could be huge for them as well. So that's kind of just, the basic thoughts of the NBA draft. Go Dick.
Big dick energy here in Toronto. Can't wait for that. Let's talk about the TV coverage. What you think of this year's TV coverage?
I actually because there was two different feeds. So I was watching the one feed and I was so frustrated with it. I was like, what the fuck is happening this year? Like we were missing picks, it felt like, because they were showing us these dumb pre-made videos. And then I switched from whatever TSN was airing to whatever Sportsnet was airing. And I guess the one that Sportsnet had was less frustrating to me. It was a different crew. But yeah, no, I hated it. I did not like it at all. I don't like where draft coverage is at. The NFL draft is the worst because it's just like pure sob stories. Like, what's the worst thing that happened in your life? We're gonna make a 3-minute video over about it and just hammer them over and over and over. Yeah. So yeah, it's just like, man. Anyway, I don't dig the draft coverage. I dig draft night, but yeah, it was pretty rough. Whatever group that Sportsnet was showing, I feel like was better than whatever TSN was offering.
Yeah, that's kind of like I could only watch it about 15 minutes for that, and then I read about it after just because I was so frustrated by the coverage. It was just unreal. Look, I think it's cool that they talk to the families, but at the same time, who the fuck cares about the families? Like, they're all gonna be happy. Like, what else do you expect them to say, right? And so focusing on that stuff and focusing less on possible trades, possible how this player is going to work in that team system, how, upcoming picks and stuff like that. I just feel like the analysts just really took a night off.
That's the thing. Yeah. Like, I want more just coverage and less of the human interest story. Not that those humans aren't interesting, but it's just like just going back to the NFL draft, which was much worse, but it's just like after 32 of the worst stories, it feels manipulative. And more than that, it just beats you down as a viewer. It's like fucking watching Schindler's List or something, watching the NFL draft at this point, man. Honestly, you're just like, you just feel like shit afterwards. Just like, holy fuck, world is fucked up, eh?
Yeah, and
so the NBA draft wasn't that bad, but it was like, we're going to show you this weird, like pre-taped video we have about the previous draft pick. Oops, we missed the Pelicans pick. It's just like, what the fuck is going on here, guys? Like, just tighten up that ship.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring it up, because I just, if I was frustrated with it, I knew you would be. So that was the draft. Let's see what happens this year in the NBA. And I think this year's NBA is going to look very different. And if this week is telling us, it will, because someone by the name of Porzingis has a new team.
Yes, Zingis to the Celtics. Marcus Smart. The Marcus Smart era is over. I don't know. Is Boston going to be the team that unlocks Kristaps Porzingis? Maybe. This feels kind of like his last shot to be a real superstar.
Agreed. Look, we talked about this, right? We talked about the possibility of, is this kid going to figure it out, right? Like, he played on shitty teams and was the best player there.
Until he got to Dallas and maybe felt like, I don't know, maybe felt like the big dog who wasn't getting enough attention, but at the same time, like, bro, you're not as good as Luka Doncic. You're just not. Sorry.
Yep. That's exactly it, right? So we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. Hopefully Boston can figure him out, or else he's going to end up on the Raptors somehow.
Boo that. No, I don't know. I wish him all the best, but yeah, I'm okay to not cheer for Porzingis or the Celtics over there on the side. So yeah, while we're talking about that, let's bring up the Raptors. Feels like a team in between. Feels like Masai, as long as he's there, is going to try to contend every year. Seems like that's what ownership wants them to do. So they're going to just keep trying to win and win now. I don't know. Fred, there's rumors Fred's actually just coming back. Like I said, I like the Gradey Dick selection, I guess. Keep wanting them to trade Pascal, keep wanting them to trade OG. Doesn't seem like it's going to happen. So this is what we got.
I can see us trading OG, but more reports are coming out that Pascal isn't going to re-sign if he does get moved, and his heart is with Toronto, which is great. cool, but right?
Yeah, no, it's
Which is
not.
good
Yeah,
for
it's like
Toronto. Look, Toronto is a weird city, right? And you know this, especially when it comes to like a sport like the NBA basketball. The Toronto tends to gravitate towards players. They like players as opposed to the team as a whole. And
no,
some players have been able to catch on that and use that against us.
That's funny. No, I just, we all feel like I think Spicy's old Pascal Siakam, his best possible outcome as an NBA player is like the number 2 or number 3 on a great team. We won a title when he was probably the 3rd best player overall behind Kawhi and Lowry in those playoffs. So I think that's what he's got to be. We're still 1 star away, like, and that's never going to change. The 1 year that we had a true bona fide number 1 shooting star in the NBA, we won the fucking title. So I think that's like Masai just wants to keep that keep that culture going and keep rolling the dice trying to land a superstar. Maybe it's Zion one day, who knows? Maybe it's the departed remains of Kevin Durant. Who knows?
Let's move to the West quickly. Talk about the Clippers. What do you think the Clippers are going to do? The Clippers are kind of like in dire straits right now. They want to rebuild, but how are they going to rebuild? Because they have no draft picks until 2050.
Well, this is the thing. They went all in on Kawhi and Paul George, and who could have possibly predicted that that isn't going to work out?
Except
but
every
they
single
close.
person in the world.
Exactly right. They came close a couple times. It's not necessarily over, but the rumblings are out there that they're willing to trade one, if not both of them. So I don't know. Hey, if you're the Raptors, you know who might fit in? Kawhi Leonard. Let's go,
dude. If somehow stuff happens and we end up back with Kawhi, I'm just gonna laugh. I am just gonna laugh.
Yeah, just over and over play the 1 5-second video clip. Ha 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 ha. Boris.
I love that so much. I love that so much.
That's amazing.
Golden State Warriors, rebuild or not?
No, it looks like right now they're gonna they traded Jordan Poole away for Chris Paul, CP3. Yep. Seems like that's a clear line in the sand that they're going to try to keep Draymond Green and try to win one more with all the boys, win one for Chris Paul. I think that's a perfect motivation for an old veteran team. Like, bring in the old dog who has deserved to win a title in his career but never done it. He can be Steph's backup. Hopefully their injuries don't sync up. Hopefully when they are both injured, and we say when they are both injured next season, they are injured separately and not at the same time.
Oh my God, that is so funny because it's so true, my friend.
But yeah, no, I'm intrigued by the Warriors. I hope they all stay healthy. I hope it works out.
I'm intrigued by the NBA this offseason. I think this offseason is going to be so cool, so fun. And come October, when we do the previews, I think we're going to be talking about new teams. And I think some of these teams that have traditionally been good for the past 2-3 years might not be as good moving into the season.
Might be slipping down a little bit. Might be another year where we have the Raptors near the play-in, sadly. Before we get off the NBA, Boris, how do you feel about your Los Angeles Lakers?
I should have avoided talking about them at the kickoff. Because honestly, here's the thing. That team needs an enema. That team needs to be completely exploded up. Like, blown up, start from scratch, but they're never going to do so. They're not in a position. They're the superstar Lakers. They're the Real Madrid of the NBA. Like, they're just expected to have superstars. And I don't even know if their fans in LA give a fuck if they're good. Like, it's so weird. It's such a weird team.
Yes, I agree. They need, I mean, ever since Kobe left, like, Kobe is the one, and LeBron's always felt not like a fake Laker, but he's always felt like he's putting on a performance. He's not like a Laker. He's not going to he's not a top 5, top 10.
It's not his heart.
It's not, yeah. Exactly right. And with I think Bronny's coming into the league next year, right? His son, LeBron James Jr., Bronny James. And there's been long talk for like a decade since it's been clear that Bronny James Jr. wants to make the NBA. It's been long talk that LeBron's going to play his last couple seasons with his kid, Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Griffey Sr. style, right?
Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio styles.
Exactly. And it'll probably get Bronny a lot of heel heat, ironically. But yeah, man, I just couldn't let you escape here without shitting all over the Lakers. I love it.
Hey, but I'm the first one to shit on them, right? Like and I'll stick it through. I'll always love the team, but I just don't understand what the team's mentality is, and I just really don't understand what their plan is. They've given up a lot of draft picks, not to the point of the Clippers, but it's the Braun factor that has always worried me since he showed up in 2019, whenever he showed up there.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's so weird with Braun in this stage. You love to have him, but it always feels like he has one foot out the door. Even when he just signed, it always felt like he had one foot out the door with
Yep.
the Lakers because of the whole Bronny thing.
Yeah, no, exactly. It always felt like that, and then it just. I've never been a fan of Braun the GM.
No.
Right?
With
Like,
good reason. He's kind of strange. He makes weird decisions and always fucks his teams over long term.
yeah, like if he gets into the ownership game, he should just buy the Hornets. It should just keep going to the best player of that era.
And then just being run into the ground for 20 years and then sold. It's going to go out. Jordan's going to sell it to Braun. Braun's going to sell it to Wembenyama. And then Wembenyama's going to sell it to Bronny James Jr.
There we go. We just figured out the lineage of the Charlotte Hornets. Are they the Charlotte Hornets? Yeah, they're the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah. They used to be like they used to be the New Orleans Hornets for a second. They're once again the Charlotte Hornets. Well, that's good for basketball talk, I think, brother.
Man, we did a hard 20 on basketball talk. Look at us.
Love it. I love it. Okay, well, we got to talk some entertainment before we get into sports entertainment. A couple of my favorite shows are back. My favorites and yours, Boris. The Eric Andre show, not as good as it used to be, but still funny. And Always Sunny in Philadelphia, not as good as it used to be, but still funny.
They're busy with other stuff. Like, let's be honest. The entire cast from It's Sunny. They've got so many other stuff at this point in that show. It's still always going to be good. It's never going to be shit, but it's just a steady paycheck for them.
Yeah, D is in like 1,000 things in movies and sitcoms. Charlie's writing his own movies, and he's motherfucking Luigi, don't you know? Dennis is Jim Ball Silly. Don't you know, Boris? Your old boy, if I'm not mistaken, your boy Jim, and of course Mac owns the Wrexham FC soccer team, and he and Deadpool are just absolutely killing it there. So yeah, Sonny has had some moments this year, like hit and miss, but I've laughed pretty hard. Like I would definitely recommend if you're a Sonny fan watching the new episodes because they're pretty solid. I liked the most recent one. I think the most. There's a couple really funny D moments this season. I feel like D is on fire. I'm quite enjoying Sonny. I feel like this is kind of a little bit of a bounce back. It's better now than it has been in like season 15, 14, 13. It's crazy. Yeah. It's been going on so long.
It really is. It really is. My nephew just got into that show.
Oh, that's amazing, man. Yeah, it's so good. It definitely, if you have that sarcastic kind of humor and that kind of like not mean sense of humor, but if you're inclined to like roasts and to like stuff like that, you're going to love Always Sunny.
I'm trying to think if there's Black Mirror's back. Not as good. Actually, I like the first 2 episodes. The other 4 were meh at best. But the first 2 episodes of Black Mirror were pretty good. You know what the problem with Black Mirror is?
What's that?
We're fucking living in it now.
It's a really good point. That's a really good point. A lot of the things that we were like the early episodes are kind of happening to some degree. It's a little scary. It's a little fucking scary. Yeah, man.
Like what can you give us to scare us at this point, right? Like
that's I don't even know. AI that is taken over by rich people and then rules the world.
They literally just did an episode of that in this season.
No.
So there we go.
We are indeed, Boris. Maybe the Black Mirror all along was the friends we made along the way. So man, it's tough times. Before we get off entertainment, Eric Andre show. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks now that Hannibal Buress is gone. It's not the same, but Eric Andre is hilarious. So a couple interviews that I wanted to shout out before we get out of here. He interviewed Donald Glover And it's like quote unquote interview. You know how it is. But yeah, Donald Glover was on the show. That was pretty funny. Chet Hanks, of all people, was on the show. And that was like very weird. He's fucking crazy, man. And Eric Andre was like making fun of him to his face. That was great. But the best interview, the best guest of the season, John Hamm. Eric Andre and John Hamm. That one was awesome. Go check that out on YouTube. If you
John Hamm is one of the funniest people in the world.
That guy fucking rules. You just want to have a beer with him. Just toss the football around with John Hamm. It just seems like the coolest uncle dad in the world.
Yeah. Get some takeoff delivery, and we're good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then he just absolutely destroys your girlfriend. Moving on. That Don Draper, that Don Draper, he'll get you, Boris.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Shout out John Hamm, one of the fucking greats.
Yeah, man. Video games. Want to quickly talk to video games?
Yes, as someone who grew up in the 90s, I absolutely adored Super Mario RPG. It was the first role-playing game that made sense to me. The precursor to Paper Mario, which is a favorite of many people, and it's getting the full HD remake, Super Mario RPG, on the Switch. I'm fucking yoked for that. And also, I think by the time we release our next podcast, many of us will have played AEW Fight Forever. That's coming out very soon. I don't think I'm going to get it day one. I think I'm going to wait to see how friends and well-wishers like it, but I'll be buying it probably pretty soon. It seems like it's a home run. It seems like people really enjoy it.
I don't know. I'm hearing mixed stuff, but I don't get care until I play it, right? Like, everyone's got their own opinion. A lot of people seem to have a lot of preconceived opinions about this show or this game. So we'll see, man. I know that John from Slam has been playing it, so I'm looking forward to hear what he thinks about that game. I'm gonna get it day one, and the only reason I'm getting it day one is because I'm gonna review it with Dax.
Nice, man. That's sick. That's definitely sick. Yeah. I would, like I said, like I'm just going to be a little cautious. I feel like it's going to be a little more bare bones than people want it to be, but at the same time I'm expecting more of like an arcadey fighter than the classic WWE 2K thing. They've been saying since day one, you can see from the graphics, you can see from the gameplay, it's meant to be kind of more of an arcade than a simulation.
But Matt, I think people don't realize what that meant, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are going in with this weird preconceived notion because I've seen a lot of people bitch about the Create a Wrestler. I've seen a lot of people bitch about XYZ options. I've seen a lot of people bitch about whatever, right? As more information and more reviews are starting to come out about this game. And I'm like, you literally knew this going in. Having said that, though, like someone like yourself who's a little more cautious, right? Hey, WWE 2K is going to probably be on the super sale next week.
Exactly. That's literally what I'm thinking is I can't wait for Fight Forever to come out so I can buy 2K23 because it's going to drop to like $5. Yeah, like that's absolutely what's going to happen. So yeah, man, no, it's fun time for wrestling fans all around. But yeah, separate of all the wrestling game drama, fucking Super Mario RPG HD, buddy. Did you ever play Mario RPG?
Did I play Mario RPG? Did I play it? Of course I did. I played that in so many different versions, like in emulators. And I remember back in 2012, I loaded that up on my BlackBerry Playbook just so that I can play it across Europe.
Nice, man. That's absolutely sick. Yeah, I adore that game. That's one that I played on Super Nintendo, and when I was a kid, I only got so far. And then, like you said, like emulators, various things. I think my buddy had like one of those weird like 18-in-1 consoles or like 1801 consoles, and I was playing it a bit on that. But those things never save the way you want them to. Same with emulator. They always get to a certain point, and then the emulator fucks up and whatever. So yeah, I'm excited to pay money for a proper remake of a brilliant game. Even just watching the trailer and like the full orchestra playing those old SNES songs got me fired up. I was like, let's fucking go, man. I didn't realize how pumped I was. Dude, I was going to be.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited for this. I love a good RPG. A lot of RPGs of today's era just don't quite hit the way that the old ones used to, like Chrono Trigger, not even Chrono Cross, Chrono Trigger. So like, you know, seeing this one especially, and this one had a different engine even for its time. I'm really looking forward to this. The graphics look amazing. I'm even looking forward to the Peaches games that are gonna come out.
Oh yeah, we got some Peach getting her own game. Finally, it's about damn time. The fucking patriarchy in the Mushroom Kingdom has held that woman down for too long, Boris. God damn it. And yeah, also there's like a new 2D Mario game, like Super Mario Wonder World Stardom Mario Kingdom
Yep.
something. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, Super Mario Wonder, right?
Yeah, something like that. Something like
Yeah,
that.
so cool.
Looking forward to it.
I love my Switch, man. I don't have a PS5. I don't have an Xbox Series, whatever, and I don't feel like I need one, honestly. Other than the fact that NBA 2K sucks on last gen, and I wish I had it just strictly for NBA 2K. Other than that, I'm very much okay using my Switch and my roommate's PS4.
Yeah, that's exactly it, man. Like, I am so curious to see how Fight Forever is going to be running on the Switch.
I hope halfway decent. I'm not a graphic snob at all. I play MLB the Show on the Switch and I fucking adore it. I really really like it. But like it doesn't look even close to how it looks on the PS5. MLB the Show is a gorgeous game on PS5 and on Switch it's a nice game. It's pretty. But like on it's like mind-blowingly beautiful. With the right TV, PS5 the show, holy fuck.
Did you see that the Batman Arkham games are going to be coming out on the Switch?
Is that official? Is that a real thing?
That's a real thing.
Let's do it. I was very pumped for that idea. It was floated a couple of years ago, but then it didn't actually become official. So I'm so excited that that's happening. Yeah, man, those games are great. I was playing the first one. I hadn't played it before. I was playing it like last year for a little bit, and fuck, those games are sick.
Yeah, the only one I didn't really play too much was the Origins game or whatever that one was called.
Right. Yeah. No, I've only played the first two. I started with Arkham Asylum and then I started with Arkham City and then I played Arkham Asylum most recently. I went 2, then 1. But yeah, those games are absolutely like just great. So groundbreaking for their time and place.
Well, that kind of inspired a lot of the future Batman projects that we're seeing now, right?
Absolutely. It seems like I don't know much about comics, but definitely as this outsider, I would agree with that.
Yep. All right, so that's that. Look at that. We got some E in the BAM Weekly stuff. So yeah.
That's yes.
I love chilling it. At this point, man. I'm like so tranquilo right now. Like it's
that's
not
good,
even funny.
Man. This is what the podcast is, brother. Just two pals shooting the shit. Hope y'all are enjoying it. We should talk some wrestling before we frig off and let y'all enjoy your weekend. We got to preview Collision and loosely talk about Forbidden Door. Not a full preview because we have one of those coming up for you. A round table here on the Sunday Night's Main Event Radio Network. Seven friends. Lucky number 7 joining in on that one. It was a lot of fun. It was fun though.
Good.
7 people.
Hey, it's good to know those big round tables work for the year-end shows, right?
Absolutely, brother. Friggin' A right. But yeah, so Collision in Toronto, bud.
Collision in Toronto. We didn't really talk too much about Collision last week because when we talked last week, it was really about Forbidden Door. What did you think of Collision overall?
I really liked it. I've seen a lot of people say this. It felt like Saturday night's main event in that it was like a one-off. It was just kind of there and they didn't build anything, but I feel like it was an introduction. They treated that show like you didn't know any of these people. You may have never seen AEW. Perhaps the only name you'd ever even heard of is CM Punk.
Maybe.
Well, I think people know him at least as the guy who embarrassed himself in UFC, but yeah, maybe not even that, Anyway, I quite liked Collision. I'm very excited to see Collision tomorrow live in Toronto. That's so exciting. Just to see Swerve versus Tanahashi, Brody King versus Andrade. Holy Christ. CM Punk live, FTR live. I've seen FTR live before, but that's dope. But yeah, no, last week's Collision was really good. I think Andrade's match there versus Buddy, I think that could contend for our list maybe near the end. 120-ish.
I could see that being a tough cut.
Tough cut. Yeah, perhaps it will end up in the tough cut range. I had that like 4.25 range. That was an excellent match. Great first showing for Andrade. He's busting out shit we hadn't seen before or hadn't seen in a long time, at least anyway. Looking like La Sombra.
Just wait until you see what Escobar does at Money in the Bank.
Oh, he's the king of the ladder match, man. We always say that. Santos Escobar is incredible in ladder matches. Always blew the roof off in NXT. But
Yeah,
yeah, no, I
but
thought Collision was dope.
I absolutely. I thought about this a little more. I talked with Chris Van Vliet, like literally as Collision was ending, so I didn't really get my thoughts together. We didn't really talk about it too much on Sunday because we had a jam-packed show, and I really wanted to give everyone their time. So like the Sean Spears interview, let it play in full. I'm gonna talk about that in a second, and then the Super J Cast guys. I really wanted to talk about like what does New Japan mean in North America. So we didn't really talk about Collision too much, but now that I've thought about it a little more, it felt like a legit wrestling show. And I'm not trying to talk shit about Dynamite. It just felt different than Dynamite, and it felt more composed, more put together. Like people said, it felt like a special, like a Saturday night's main event special. I really enjoyed what they did with it.
Yeah, man, same. The presentation is slick. I like the fonts. I like the ramp. I like the
commentary. Oh my god, amazing!
It's only going to get better too. They've worked together before, Nigel McGuinness and Kevin
ROH.
Kelly. They have worked, yes, Ring of Honor. They have worked together before, but not a ton. And I think they're going to tighten up the ship as they go. It's a good idea for a completely separate commentary team. Helps it feel like a completely separate entity. Yeah, man. No, I quite liked it. I think the biggest problem with AEW has been storytelling and not letting things breathe. The old TNA problem, like the Young Bucks get set on fire by Chris Jericho to the back to a different thing and nothing lands. You know what I mean? There's been a lot of times where like storylines don't get enough time to breathe. And I feel like with 5 hours of programming now, it's really like Dynamite, things get more time to breathe. Collision, things are going to get more time to breathe. When someone gets beaten down, let the crowd like react to it for 2 minutes before you immediately throw to Tony Schiavone and RJ City spinning names in a tumbler and then not reading them. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing, right? Like even like as much as I enjoy Excalibur, and I really do enjoy Excalibur, him calling the cards the way that he does takes away from you just being able to enjoy what you just saw.
Yeah, man, it doesn't. It's cool. It's become like an AEW tradition, and he's an excellent performer, and he's so sick at what he does. But I don't think it helps. I don't think it does anything for anyone except for making Excalibur look cool. Which good for him. Yeah. He deserves to have a moment in the sun. But it doesn't like really advertise those matches. It's impossible to like follow and to like even if like you could follow it, it's not impossible to follow, but even if you can follow it, you forget some of the cool things that happened because he's reading off 11 matches at you in 3 seconds.
There was a interesting video, and again, I'm not trying to talk shit. I enjoy both shows, I really do, but I just felt Collision just felt like a more overall better product. There was a video of the difference between Excalibur making the calls versus Nigel making the calls from this past Saturday. And that's where I came up with this. Like, it's, oh man, the way that Nigel, like, and they take a second, they'll talk about the match, even to give it a sentence to try to build it up.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. And that should stay separate. Like, don't make Excalibur immediately change everything he's done for 3 years and do it like Nigel, because Nigel did it a different way once. Keep them separate. Let Excalibur speed run through every card in AEW history, and then Nigel can slowly, calmly, with class and dignity, the British man can explain to us what's coming up in our
at least some class.
Yeah, perhaps some class. Perhaps some class.
All right. So let's talk about Collision on Saturday, June the 24th. Tanahashi versus Swerve Strickland. My God, that match could be amazing.
Yeah, man. I would probably say the biggest match of Swerve's career, right?
I think so.
On television against a Japanese legend. That's a big moment for him. I expect Tanahashi to get a win because he's challenging for the AEW world title the next day. So yeah, I think Tanahashi's going to beat Swerve, which it sucks because I love Swerve, but oh well, it's professional wrestling, got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet, etc. But yeah, no, I'm very excited for that. I think I'm actually as pumped as I am for that. The more I think about it, man, Brody King versus Andrade. That's two of my favorites. I love Andrade, and I love Brody King. I have come all the way around on that guy. At first, I didn't quite like him,
I know.
but now he's literally like in my Booker T fave 5.
Burger King is freaking awesome. He's so good. And Andrade, man, like this is the thing. I'm so happy that Andrade is back. I'm happy that, some of the baggage can be left behind and people could just focus on what he's doing today. And I hope that that's the thing. I hope that, Collision with like Thunder Rosa, which one day I'm going to talk about the whole Thunder Rosa stuff because that whole situation really pisses me off on so many levels. Andrade, Punk, and a lot of other people, like they can just move their career forward. And that's really what I'm hoping. And you know what the best way to do that is, Matt?
What's that, my friend?
Banger after banger after banger of matches.
I love it. And that's what AEW has always been about. They're going to get that rope. They're going to get that leeway to get it done, man. So yeah, it's an exciting time. And yeah, fuck, that show's going to be sick. 8-man tag, man. The Switchblade, CM Punk.
Yeah, dude. It's going to be a freaking great card, even on Saturday. Okay, buddy, let me ask you this before we talk about the main event real quick. I'm assuming that the FTR CM Punk match is going to be the main event, but let's talk about who do you think is going to be named as the third partner, the third man for Sting and Darby Allin.
I've said this on a couple shows, but yeah, I think it's got to be Tetsuya Naito. And the reason why is because they've made it very clear in the Dynamite promo that Chris Jericho has a lot of enemies, right? So it's a New Japan versus AEW show. So we must ask ourselves, who are Chris Jericho's enemies in New Japan? And it's a short list of people who aren't booked already. And Tetsuya Naito is clearly one of them. So yeah, it's going to be Naito, I think. Your boy.
My boy Naito, and the fact that he already did the pose on Dynamite, right? Like that was a huge giveaway. But seeing Murder Grandpa is going to be awesome.
Oh my God, Minoru Suzuki. Like I said, man, like the whole spot where Darius Martin forearmed him in the back and then he just let go of the submission hold. Looked so angry, looked into the camera, had the evil smile, and just elbowed that man to absolutely Jupiter. Like that was my favorite spot in the history of pro wrestling. I love Minoru Suzuki. Fuck, he rules.
I know. And we're also going to hear from Christian Cage. Oh my God. This promo is going to like bury every dad humanly possible.
Yes, absolutely. Oh shit, I didn't even think of that. But yes, man, he's gonna bury the Leafs. You know that the Leafs are getting buried. Perhaps the Toronto Blue Jays buried. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic. Don Callis put out a tweet, and I thought I saved it, but I didn't save it. But he said that Kenny Omega he compared them to the Leafs. In his match against Will Ospreay, basically saying he's going to drop the ball and he's going to suck. And everyone is replying to Don Callis saying, "You're trying to be heel, but you just made the greatest face move ever with that tweet."
That's amazing. How are we going to boo you now? No, I'm getting a Don Callis tattoo now. That's funny.
Let me see if I did save it. I didn't. Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, no, because it was such a great tweet.
Awesome. Go peep Don Callis's Twitter. He's hilarious, man. One of the best. It sucks that he was out of the wrestling business for so long. Could you imagine? He's a treat to watch every week.
Have you ever, the band Collective Soul, right?
Yeah, of course.
All right, everyone, do yourself a huge favor. Go look up Collective Soul today and the lead singer and what he looks like today. He honestly looks like Don Callis if he kept his long hair from 97.
Amazing. He's Cyrus?
Like, he even dresses like him. It is so weird. I don't know what happened to these guys. It's crazy.
They were Collective Soul had some jams. I can't find a recent picture of him. Here, there he is. He kind of looks like Dan the Mouth Labransky a little bit.
Yeah, he kind of does actually too.
We will remember the Varsity Blues soundtrack forever, Boris. Walk a long way to Rome.
The Precious Declaration, greatest CD in history of CDs.
Big Shiny Tunes too, baby.
Yep. All right, so Collision, man. Really looking forward to that. Forbidden Door. The card is insane. The card makes it just
Absolutely mental. We can't spend too long on Forbidden Door just because we've done it a lot on the network. But what's the one match, the one thing that you're just like, fuck yeah?
If this match is going to be on the card, this is my getting hard, chubby 6-12 moment. Adam Cole versus Filthy Tom.
Oh wow!
You know I'm a sucker for both. You know I'm a huge sucker for both.
You are a huge Filthy Tom man for sure. You are a huge Adam Cole baby. Yeah, man, it's that's so cool. It's a big spot for Filthy Tom. Excited to see him get a big AEW match.
Yep, that's okay. So like out of the potential match, but out of the matches that we know of, honestly, how can you not say Okada Danielson?
For sure, man. Yeah, no, to be in the building for that is going to be absolutely crazy, absolutely mental. A dream match that we did not know we could ever see as soon as 5 years ago, 5 months ago, even it was a little far fetched, but it's happening. For me, it's honestly, I was thinking about it and being in the building for a Kenny Omega classic match. That's going to be something special. I'm so excited to do that. But dude, seeing Katsuyori Shibata, seeing him come out, that entrance, and to wrestle a full ass match, that's going to be sick.
Considering that a few years ago, I was afraid for the dude's life.
It's crazy, man. It's actually crazy. He went out on a shield almost. Like that match versus Okada, that's 5 stars and possibly not only the best wrestling match ever, but the best wrestling match like conceivable. Like that could possibly happen.
What makes me so sad is what could have been after that match, because I feel like that, like, I'm not saying Shibata wasn't a made man before that match, but I feel like that match propelled him to unspeakable Kenny Omega levels of this is a top guy.
Yes, absolutely. And then it was, and they couldn't follow up with it about Shibata, like on Shibata's end, but it definitely absolutely catapulted Okada to the stratosphere, to that main tippy top, never going to fall off the ledge level.
Yep. Now, and this is like that, man, those few months of Okada where he fought Kenny Omega, Suzuki, Shibata. Just go back and watch those matches, because these matches literally happened all back to back.
Absolutely mental, man. So wild. So wild. All right, brother. Well, I think we got to wrap it up here on the BAM podcast. I think that was a pretty good go. Do you have any other wrestlings to talk about before we get out?
ROH 12 matches. Nothing important happened. Okay, so let's quickly talk about ROH and Impact. Again, we have Impactful. You can go listen to that, but I'm just going to give you Cole's notes or Cliff's notes if you are in the USA. I remember that one. I put that one in a sticky beside my thing.
Literally on a post-it note hanging on your forehead. No, but when you look into the camera, you see. No, but that's good. A little callback from last week, Boris. I like what you're saying.
I like doing those little callbacks. Just gotta bring it full circle. Long-term storytelling here on the BAM program. So really, there was only a handful of things that, again, if I know I'm jumping a lot, but if ROH focused the way that I should be focusing, ROH would be such a good show. Because there's always a few good things on the show, but because there's so much filler and so many extra things, you just forget about stuff. Gringo Loco versus Willie Mack was really freaking good, man. Really freaking good. Another fun match that should have been given more time is this. El Hijo del Vikingo, Commander, and the Lucha Bros. They beat Kip Sabian, Serpentico, the Butcher, and the Blade. That was a lot of fun. The Dark Order stuff with Stu Grayson and the Righteous has been tons of fun here on ROH. Next week we're going to be getting the Righteous and Stu Grayson versus Dark Order. That's a lot of fun. And then Athena has been just killing it, and she had a very fun match in a Chicago street fight with Kiera Hogan on last night's show. But the match of the night was a pure rules match. Daniel Garcia, Rocky Romero, and the ending, and this is why I love these matches, similar to the Heritage Cup, and that is, so Rocky Romero wasted all his rope breaks. Daniel Garcia somehow reverses an armbar, turns it into a dragon tamer. Romero has no more rope breaks. Romero's trying to escape out of the ring, but Garcia holds on tight for the win. And then after, Garcia does the Shibata pose to just keep mocking him. So yeah, dude, that was a lot of fun.
Nice, man. Nice. Yeah, I like Pure Rules too. Not as much, obviously, as the Heritage Cup. The Heritage Cup are way more sporty, but at least the Pure Rules, they're trying. You could say the rope break gimmick is kind of weird, but I like it, and I know you like it too. And when they do pull it off, and it sounds like they did, it actually does work pretty well.
Yeah, and in terms of Impact Wrestling, so Impact Wrestling is in this weird place because they're in the road to Slammiversary. Slammiversary is happening July 15th in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. But they also have that Australian tour that kind of came out of nowhere next weekend. So they're trying to build for both things, not really. The Australian tour is just happening, but they're trying to make the Australian tour mean something. So they're booking matches that you know the outcome. Like Giselle Shaw is going to be facing Deonna Purrazzo. The stipulation there is that if Shaw wins, the match with Trinity becomes a triple threat at Slammiversary. You kind of know it won't happen, but it could happen. So they're trying to book for all this stuff. I think they're going to turn Rich Swann heel. That's kind of cool because he has this weird ongoing storyline with Sami Callihan. And he literally just told Sami Callihan that he's going to have his back no matter what.
Interesting. Yeah. I don't know about the Sami Callihan thing. Like it's weird because I feel like he's at the point where he's kind of run his course a little bit in Impact, but at the same time, where else does he go? What else does he do?
That's exactly it, right? He's got nowhere else. He's got nothing else to really do. The Nick Aldis, Alex Shelley stuff really took a huge break last night. They didn't really touch on it. Nick Aldis basically said that Alex Shelley's fans have been harassing him, so he's not at the building. That's kind of all they did with that. Yeah, it's kind of funny. And last night's show was a lot of can they coexist? It was Steve Macklin and Bully Ray versus Frankie Kazarian and Alex Shelley for the main event. And Ray and Macklin won after some shenanigans and all that weird stuff. Overall, okay show. You know, I gave it, what did I give it on Slam? I gave it 3 stars at Slam. And it was average. And we'll see what happens next weekend in the Australian tour as we head into Slammiversary in mid-July. That's it.
Nice, man. Nice. Yeah. Impact doing their thing. I'm so glad that Alex Shelley has the world championship. I still haven't seen Shelley versus Steve Macklin. That's one that could contend for our list for sure, right? Like that's going to be possibly high up on our list.
Yeah. Agreed. That's
on Cage Match. It has a rating of like, and I know Cage Match is whatever. It's not the end all be all, and it's volatile. Ratings change on that, but on Cage Match right now, I think it's like over 9, which is fucking pretty good. 4.5 stars, all-time classic on this podcast.
Yeah, dude, it was a very good match. Macklin, short run, but effective.
Yeah, man, absolutely. A classic not generational, a classic transitional champion. Anyway, man, we've yacked on enough. Let's get out of here, do some plugs, and let's go enjoy our weekend and watch some fucking wrestling. But actually, quickly, before we, sorry, I got to interrupt myself. Next week on the show, we're going to talk a little tiny bit of NHL draft because we have to. And then, Boris, it's Canada Day. You know what that means. The BAM tradition. We're going back and we're reading off the top matches of the year so far. It's going to be a top 23 of 2023 so far. The top 23 matches of the year up to this point. That's exciting. We're doing that next week, along with some NHL draft chatter.
That's right. Also here on the SNME Network, the roundtable with the Forbidden Door preview is officially out. So go listen to that after you listen to us. Obviously, we still have a whole slew of shows because there's so much wrestling on TV, and we do analysis for each and every single show that kind of deserves it. So the Smack Daddies are coming at you with SmackDown. We're going to have the Grants coming at you talking all things Collision. The Rampage Ramble is back this weekend. We also have the main show. This weekend's main show is going to be different because there's so much wrestling. We're going to have a round table. We're going to be previewing Money in the Bank. On the radio version, I'm going to replay the Sean Spears interview because of radio technical difficulties. And on the podcast version, we're just going to continue on with our round table. So I want to give Sean Spears, his moment on the radio. So I'm going to replay that on the radio version of the show. I think that's just the fair and honest thing to do. for AEW, for Sean Spears, and for our radio listeners coast to coast on TSN Radio and the iHeartRadio Talk networks. So yeah, we have a whole slew of shows. If you're going to any show anywhere in the world, especially here in Toronto, or including here in Toronto, I should say, especially because, Toronto's the center of the universe. Enjoy yourself. Be safe. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the summer. Enjoy whatever festivities you're going to. He's Matt. I'm Boris. Till next time, stay tranquilo.
Yeah, brother. And to quote the great Brody Lee, yeah, yeah, yeah.